Welcome to YogiMe. My name is Hannah Pripps. I'll be your instructor today. So we'll just need a mat today, as always, and we'll be going for 45 minutes. And yeah, we'll get started here. Let me just put my watch on. I don't know what time it is. And we'll get started in a child's pose today. So you can bring your knees wide as your mat, and your big toes together. That's one option, and reach your arms out in front. Or you can actually bring your knees together, whatever feels better for you. So maybe it feels good to rest your chest on your thighs, or maybe you want to pull your chest a little bit closer to the ground. So you would bring your knees wide. You can let your forehead rest down on the mat. If you have your knees together, it might feel good to kind of bring your arms back behind you. Just try to find a comfortable position here. Not really even looking for any particular stretch. We're just going to begin class like we begin every class, which is to just pause and bring our awareness to what's going on the inside. So bringing our mind, instead of letting it wander and think about things that are going to happen in the future, things that happened in the past, just pull it into the present and notice what's happening right here and right now. Notice your heart beating. Notice your breath. Notice the connection of your legs and your shins and your feet, and your hands with the earth. If you haven't already, start to deepen your breath, drawing the air down deep into your lungs. You make an audible sound with your breath, constricting the back of your throat. Notice the sound of your breath. Notice your ribcage expanding and contracting. Maybe you're pressing against your thighs. If you haven't already, stretch your hands out in front. Really make your arms nice and long. Reach your hands forward. And gently press your hands into the mat. And start to rock forward. Bring your weight forward and come into a tabletop position. Bring your shoulders right above your wrists, your hips right above your knees. Tops of your feet press into the mat gently. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Create space in between your shoulder blades. Then step your feet back, coming onto the balls of your feet, and we'll come into a plank pose. Just for a few breaths. Bring your belly button up towards your spine. Drop your knees back, down, back to your tabletop position. Then bring your right hand out to the side and up. Inhale as you stack your shoulders. Then exhale as you bring your right arm behind your left arm. Set your right shoulder down on the mat. Set your right cheek down on the mat. Feel a nice stretch in your shoulder. You can use your left hand, gently press into the mat to kind of open your chest. And then press into your left hand, reach your right arm back out and up. Inhale. And exhale as you set your right hand back down. Left hand comes out to the side and then reaches up. Try to stack your shoulders here. Inhale as you reach your left hand up. Exhale, left arm comes behind your right arm. Set your left shoulder down on the mat. Bring your left cheek to the mat. And then gently press into your right palm. Just open up your chest and get a nice stretch in your shoulder. Right hand, reach your left arm out and up again. Inhale as you stack your shoulders. Exhale, put your left hand back down on the floor, tabletop. Bring your fingers away from each other so your wrists point towards each other's and your fingers come out. And then you can start to gently rock side to side. Get a gentle stretch in your wrists. And then flip your palms so that your palms face up, fingers point towards each other. Try to straighten your elbows if you can. It's okay if you can't. But press your fingertips, your fingernails, into the mat, and then curl your fingers in, try to make fists. Stretching your forearms and your wrists, and then open your fingers, press your fingernails into the mat. Then again, curl your fingers, make fists. Sit back and shake out your wrists side to side, and then shake them up and down. We'll come back into our tabletop position. Spread your fingers wide. Press firmly into the mat, and then step your feet back, again back on the balls of your feet, to your plank pose. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. And keep your neck in line with your spine. Always come down to your knees. And then spread your knees, or bring your knees wide, bring your knees to the mat, and sink back into your child's pose. So big toes come together, knees wide. forward, back to your tabletop. Tuck your toes underneath. Lift your hips up high. Downward facing dog. So press the mat away with all 10 fingers. Your knees can be bent here. Prioritize that length in your spine. And scoop your tailbone up. Your heels drawn down towards the mat. And when you're ready, look forward, bend your knees, and take some baby steps up to the top of the mat. Coming into your forward fold. So let your head and your neck dangle down towards the mat. You can grab opposite elbows. And let a little bit of extra weight draw you down towards the mat. And gently rock side to side. Back down to the floor. Bring your hands to your shins, right below your knees. Look up and look forward. With a flat back, lift up halfway. And then exhale as you fold forward again. Bend your knees and reach up, stand up. Inhale as you come up and circle your arms. Exhale as you bring your hands to your sides, shoulders back. Inhale, reach up. And exhale as you fold forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back to plank. And hold here. Press the mat away. Rock forward slightly and bend your elbows as you slowly lower all the way down to the floor. Untuck your toes and straighten your elbows just until your body tells you to stop. Keeping your thighs down on the mat, spread your collarbones, open your heart. Keep your elbows hugged into your torso. And then exhale as you bring your chin to the floor, tuck your toes, press up to plank, and then lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. We'll do that sequence one more time. So when you're ready, look forward, bend your knees. You can take a step or a hop to the front of the mat. Lift up halfway, inhale. Exhale as you fold forward. Bend your knees as you reach up, stand up. Inhale. Exhale, your hands to your sides. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back to plank. And chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck your toes. Lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. And then reach your right leg up towards the ceiling. And step your right foot up in between your hands. And lift up to your crescent lunge. So your fingers reach up towards the ceiling. Shoulders come down away from your ears. Right knee is bent. Getting a gentle curve in your spine. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale, frame your right foot. Step your left foot up to meet your right. And lift up halfway. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale as you reach up, stand up. Exhale, fold forward. Step your right foot back to the back of the mat. Lift up, crescent lunge. Left knee is bent. Your left shoulder is down, away from your ears. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale, frame your left foot. Step your left foot back to plank and chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck your toes. Lift your hips up high. Downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. And lift your left leg up towards the ceiling. Step your left foot up in between your hands. Lift up, crescent lunge. Inhale. And exhale. Broadening your chest. Bring your pinkies in towards each other. And as you exhale, bring your hands to frame your left foot. Step your right foot up to meet your left. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach up, stand up. And exhale as you swan dive forward. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Lift up, crescent lunge. Bring your shoulders down away from your ears. And exhale as you frame your right foot. Step your right foot back to plank and chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck your toes. Press your hips up high, downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. This is our sun salutation, letter C. And we'll do this one more time on each side. Maybe a little bit faster. Just following your breath. So when you're ready, reach your right leg up towards the ceiling and step your right foot up in between your hands. Inhale as you reach up, crescent lunge. Exhale, frame your right foot. Inhale, step your left foot up to meet your right and lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale as you reach up, stand up. And exhale, fold forward. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Inhale as you lift up, crescent lunge. Exhale, frame your left foot. Step your left foot back, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. So scooping that tailbone up towards the ceiling. And lift your left leg up. And step it through in between your hands. Lift up, crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step your right foot up to meet your left. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees and inhale as you lift all the way up. And exhale as you dive forward. Send your left foot to the back of the mat. Inhale. Lift up, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step your right foot back to plank. Chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. Be nice and warmed up. And when you're ready, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Step your right foot up in between your hands. Lift up, crescent lunge. Inhale. And exhale your hands to your hips. Bend your left knee and bring your left knee to tap the ground and lift back up. Again, tap your left knee down, lift back up. Tap and lift. Tap, lift. And once more, tap and lift back up. And then reach your fingertips back up towards the ceiling, crescent lunge. Bring your pinkies in towards each other. And then spin your left heel down. Open up to a T, warrior 2. Sink into your hips. Up, drop your left hand to your left thigh, reach your right arm up overhead to reverse your warrior. Breathe into your right ribs. Bring your right hand away from your right knee. Your left hand can slide down towards your left ankle. Elbow to your right knee, left arm reaches up and overhead, pulling your left hand away from your left foot. And then you can stay here, or you can bring your right hand down to the inside of your right foot and reach your left hand up towards the ceiling. Stacking your shoulders. And then really use your core as you lift all the way up. Warrior 2. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot. Drop your left knee down on the mat. Untuck your left toes. Walk your hands back, straightening your right knee. And bringing your right toes towards you. And you can always be bent here. And when you're ready, bend your right knee, walk your hands forward. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, plant your hands firmly, and step your right foot back to plank. And then bring your feet together. Let your heels fall over to the left. And reach your right arm up for a side plank. Stack your shoulders, stack your hips. Lift your hips. Bring your right hand back down to the mat. Shift forward and chaturanga. Lower to the floor. Inhale to cobra or up dog. And exhale, tuck your toes. Lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. As we reset. And reach your left leg up towards the ceiling. Step your left foot up in between your hands. Lift up to your crescent lunge. Left knee is bent. Fingers reach up. Inhale. Exhale as you bring your hands to your hips. Bend your right knee and dip. And tap your right knee down and lift back up. And tap and lift. Tap. Lift. Lift, and once more, tap your right knee and lift back up. Reach your arms and your hands up, crescent lunge. Bring your pinkies in. And then spin your right heel down. Open up to a T, warrior 2. Gaze over your left middle finger. Bring your shoulders down away from your ears. Your right hand to your right thigh and reach your left arm up overhead to reverse your warrior. Breathe into your left ribs and draw your left hand away from your left knee. Draw your right hand down your right leg towards your right ankle. Then use your core as you bring your left elbow to your left knee. Reach your right arm over your right ear, bringing it away from your right foot. Or you can bring your left hand to the inside of your right foot, your left foot, and reach your right hand up towards the ceiling, opening up your chest, stacking your shoulders. And breathe. Then use your core as you lift back up to your warrior 2. Sinking into those hips. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your left foot. Drop your right knee down, untuck your right toes. Walk your hands back towards you. Bring your left toes towards you. For your half splits. Draw your chest forward towards your left toes. Then rebend your left knee, walk your hands forward. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, plant your hands firmly, step your left foot back to plank. Bring your feet together and drop your heels over to the right as you lift your left arm up for a side plank. Stack your shoulders, stack your hips. And set your left hand back down on the mat. Shift forward and chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale as you tuck your toes. Lift your hips high. Downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. Take water bottle pose if you need to. And then when you're ready, start to walk your hands back towards your feet until you're in your forward fold. Drawing the crown of your head down towards the floor. Bend your knees, round your spine, and slowly, one vertebrae at a time, lift all the way up to standing. And once you reach the top, roll your shoulders back a few times. Bring your palms together at heart center. Bring your weight into your right foot. Bring your left knee out. You can kickstand your left heel here. You can bring it to your calf, to your inner thigh for tree pose. You can even bring your left foot to your right hip crease. See if you can bring your left foot to kind of point your toes up and your left knee down. Another variation. Once you find a pose that works for you, and once you found your balance, you can start to grow your branches any way you would like to. You can release your left foot back down to the floor and take a couple baby chair poses to reset before bringing your weight into your left foot. Right knee comes out, and you can kickstand your right foot here, or you can bring it to your inner calf or your inner thigh, just avoiding the knee area. Or again, you can bring your right foot to your left hip crease, where your right toes are pointing up, right knee points down. Just another variation. And then whenever you feel stable, you can start to grow your branches. Bring your hands back to heart center. Release your right foot back down to meet your left. And take a couple baby chair poses. Then inhale as you circle your arms up overhead. Grab your left wrist with your right hand and lean over to the right. Getting a nice stretch in your left side body. Reach back up, grab your right wrist, and exhale as you lean to the left. Still keeping your chest nice and open, not collapsing. Inhale as you reach back up. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale as you plant your hands, step your feet back to plank. Create space in between your shoulder blades as you press the mat away. Draw your belly button in. For our final core workout. And then from your hip creases, pull your hips up, back to your downward facing dog. Scoop your tailbone up. And bend your knees as you set your knees down on the mat. Cross your ankles deeply. Come back to seated. And then bring your legs out in front of you. And bring your feet wide as comfortable. They don't need to be super wide. Make sure your sit bones have a nice connection with the ground. And then we'll start by squaring our chest towards your right foot. Inhale as you reach your arms up overhead. And exhale as you fold over your right leg. And you can grab onto whatever you would like to, your shin, your pant leg. But see if you can reach your hands evenly, more or less, so that your left hand is reaching just as much as your right hand is. Keep your feet flexed. Toes pointing up. When you're ready, roll up to seated and square your chest towards your left foot. Inhale as you reach your arms up overhead, lengthen, and exhale as you fold over your left leg. Make sure both sets of toes are pointing up. Using your exhale to let go of any extra gripping or tension. Roll back up to seated. And then bend your knees. You can use your hands to help you. Bring your knees together. And then open your legs as if you're opening a book. Bring the soles of your feet together. And bring your heels in close to you. You can use your hands to grab your feet. And then if you would like to, you can start to fold over your feet. Get a nice stretch in your hips. Fine, as you come back up to seated, you can close your knees like you're closing a book, and then round your spine as you come to laying all the way down on your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. And then bring your hands to your sides. And then reach the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling for legs up the wall. If you would rather bring your legs to an actual wall, that's okay too. Just getting our legs above our heart. Here, before we take our final pose, our resting pose. And whenever you're ready, you can bend your knees, give yourself a hug, make it nice and tight. Bring your legs out long, hands to your sides. As we set up for our final resting pose, Shavasana, also known as corpse pose. You don't need any muscles to keep you here. So start to check in and notice if there is any activation in your muscles, any tension that you can let go. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. Let your entire body feel heavy, almost like you're sinking down into the floor. And we'll rest here just for a few minutes until I call you back. Start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Start to roll your wrists and your ankles. Maybe take a nice Good morning stretch, reaching your hands up over your head. And however you want to get there, we'll meet in a comfortable seated position. Taking your time. Inhale, circle your arms up overhead. Bring your palms together. And exhale as you bring your thumbs to heart center. Thank you for practicing with me this evening. The light and love in me honors and acknowledges the light and love in you. Namaste.